Yo, haha, they'll never say. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Mel Neverson coming back with another quick video. Today we got the Yeezy Slide Salt in the building. I do want to take a look at the slide because some people were saying it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I'll get into that momentarily. We'll also take a look at some older Yeezy slides and kind of compare the whole comfortness towards one versus the other. Again, there are some benefits to the newer slides versus the older slides and vice versa. We will get into that right now. So keep in mind with the Yeezy Slide Salt, this is a colorway that Ye himself, or at least at the time it was Kanye, because this picture right here is kind of taken around an earlier time when the Yeezy Slides were kind of introduced. But this was a colorway that wasn't released to the public just yet until now. It's not to say that he's wearing the newer Yeezy Slide. I don't want anybody getting that misconstrued. This is definitely a picture from way, kind of like the earlier days of the Yeezy Slide hype. You want to call it that. But you see right here, I got size 13 Yeezy Slide Salt. We're going to get straight into this because I wanted to see the color hue, which we'll get into momentarily. So let me open this up. It is your classic traditional Yeezy drawer. Get the slide out right here. Of course, Yeezy Slide, slide out drawer. And of course, this does hopefully come with some type of card. Oh, the card is over there, but you'll see a video of me doing an RFID card, kind of showing you like what's inside. Keep in mind, these RFID cards, when you look at them and you put them towards the light, the only way you can read it is with like an RFID reader and the application that it's associated with. So if you have the actual appliance with the reader, it'll give you some background information, a little bit more detailed than what you're seeing on there in terms of manufacture, where it's been, blah, 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 blah. All that information is stored on that chip. So that said and done, man, we have the Yeezy Slide, the Salt, and again, this is my opinion. This is kind of like a greenish, grayish hue colorway that it's not in any of my slides that I have today. So this is something that I just wanted to kind of throw in the rotation in the series of Yeezys that I have today. This is surprisingly, it's actually really good because this screams kind of like a spring / summerish colorway, if that makes sense. And of course, when you look at the slide, they do also resemble the Yeezy Slide Dark Onyx video that I did not too long ago in terms of that textured slide design. You don't really have that smooth slide design that you would normally have on the older, or at least the first gen Yeezys. This is the Yeezy Slide Dark Onyx. Now, this is what I was talking about, the good, the bad, the ugly. The good with these type of newer slide Yeezys is the tread. So if you tend to walk a lot, especially in rugged places where concrete is real tough and the slide is kind of digging into the actual ground, this is where the wear and tear will last a little bit longer just because of that design, or at least the tread that you see on top, or at least around the actual slide itself. When it's smooth like this, what happens is, let me show you real quick. You'll notice that, and I'll actually have a picture if you can't see it. You'll notice that when you go into certain areas with the smoother Yeezys, of course, they're more plush, they're softer, but they're more susceptible to being kind of exposed and leads to damage. So that is basically my heel right there. You can see it clear as day. But I've had older Yeezys where I've had the same type of markings, but with the newer Yeezys, I feel like it's going to last a little bit longer. You may not have to worry about this as much, at least not too frequently versus this. So that is the good. Now, here's the bad. Depending on who you ask, and of course, some people say go the half size up, full size up. It's all dependent on your foot structure, in my opinion. So if you're wearing a size, at least with the newer slides, if you're wearing a size 12 and a half, of course you want to go up to 13. You don't really need to go up to a 14 because these only run a full size run. But I'll say that to say this. Depending on who you ask for the bad with the newer Yeezys, especially the Yeezy Slide Salt versus the newer, or at least the older Yeezys, is the softness. Some people prefer when they walk in their slides, they like to feel that kind of like comfort effect where it looks like you're just dropping down to the slide each step you take. So you'll see a video here what I'm talking about as an example. You can see at the back towards the footbed that the heel portion will sink more, hence why it's probably a mark right here versus the newer versions. But some people may like a little bit more stability versus the actual, I want to say, plush or soft feeling that you have as soon as you're kind of dipping in with the slide. Because this, keep in mind, this is all one EVA foam, so this is like a one molded structure. It's just that you can feel, I feel like you can feel more of a hardened foam texture in the newer ones than you can with the softer ones, at least the older ones. So that's kind of the bad. And then of course the ugly is what people are saying is that they expected the colorway to be a little bit different, I guess, up close and personal. Like some people were expecting, I don't know what they're expecting differently from what they saw online, but they didn't like what they saw in hand. Me personally, I like what I see in hand just because this is something, again, this is something that's going to pop a little bit more than your average natural or color tone Yeezy, nature tone, I should say, where it's like the traditional black or charcoal black, or it's grayish, or it's something that just stands out. It's not the actual, I think it was the Azures that dropped last year where it was like this bright blue, and you could definitely see that. And if I were to compare both the Yeezy Slide Salt to the actual, and you'll see a video right here, to the Azure and the Dark Salt, in terms of comfort, it's kind of the same thing. It definitely has that hardened texture that you can see. Again, it has that texture design on it versus the smooth that you would see with the older slides. So comment below, let me know what you think about the Yeezy Slide Salt. Of course, it does have those horizontal outsole, at least I like to call it, shark-like fins on the bottom, where it creates kind of like a stopgap between the footbed and the actual ground, and you'll get that bounce back effect, which puts ease on your knees each time you're stepping through the Yeezy Slide Salt. So your boy Magnificent, go and do that quick on feet, do that buoyancy test. Man, this one has a lot of tension towards it when you try to bend it. This is what I want to kind of show you real quick before the on feet. See how I'm trying to create pressure and bending this? I know a lot of people are like cringing, but it's foam, right? I don't have to apply that much pressure with the, see what I'm talking about? See how this just folds right in, like directly in? It's just easy. It just collapses so easy. This is the Yeezy Slide Onyx, not the dark Onyx, the Onyx from last year. It's so easy to come at. I can just see people's face right now, but that's what I'm talking about. Here, not so much. You just have that. You can't converge it as much with ease. You can do it, but you see me just not trying to push too hard on it. But that's what I'm talking about in terms of tension between the newer model and the older model of Yeezy Slides. Your boy Magnificent Man. Let's do that on feet. Yeezy Slide Salt. It's a nice little colorway, man. I appreciate that. And also, don't forget, and you'll see this, every imprint on the Yeezy Slides, you'll see the Yeezy marking on the inside. Kind of if you look towards the upper of the actual the slide, you'll see the Yeezy, you'll see the actual size and where it's made from. Made in China. Your boy Magnificent Man, I am out. Yeezy Slide Salt. Let's do that on feet. And you guys, stay blessed.